So let's open these. All 12 of these are going to be RAGS comic books. RAGS. You guys can type in exclamation mark.
Gotta build some defense.
Who is that? Skunky. Hey, Skunky. What's going on, man? Happy Friday to you. Hope you've had a wonderful week. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub, 20 months in a row. That is awesome. We are at 191 subscribers now. 191. So CGC packages them really, really well. They will have this all the way around. Actually, you can see it here. I don't want to lean it forward anymore because you guys will see the grades, but they go all the way around to, you know, help protect during shipping. And then all the bags do come, or all of the books. Oh, there's even bubble wrap. Why is this one bubble wrapped? Oh, it's not bubble wrap. They jam bubble wrap down here to fill. It looks like maybe 13 books will fit in one box, and 12 left just a little bit of an empty space. So anyways, I don't want to lead it too far forward. I'm gonna try to get these out of here as best as I can to where I don't see the grades. Actually, what I could do is I don't think that any of these have nudity on the cover of these. I don't think so. Those would be the Onyx covers, which are still there getting graded. I do need to try to find out which is the front and which is... That's funny. FedEx. These are shipped UPS. Man, they jammed. I'll probably save all this stuff. All right, let me see. I gotta try to find oh, so I already see a grade. This one's 9.8. This one sitting here is a 9.8. But I need to figure out which is the front, which is the back. Okay, so this...
You gotta build some defense.
This is the front. So if we spin it this way... these should all be the front. And then I should just be able to pull them out one by one from the box. If I cover this here, you guys shouldn't see the grade. Oh man, let me turn. All right. So it'll be interesting to see what they labeled these as. Let's pull the bag off. Is it Iki's World? Is that how you pronounce it? Thank you very much. So what is this one? This is, so let's see, how did they label it? It just says Patreon exclusive, RAGS number 3, no publisher listed. I don't know. Oh, I guess this isn't, this is just your regular cover, right? No variant cover on this one. And then, like I said, I'd already seen the grade on this one, 9.8. So that's pretty cool. Thank you and welcome. Thank you for subbing up. We are at 192 subs. You think they're all going to be 9.8s? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think they are. There are a couple of them here that I am expecting to be lower than a 9.8, 9.6, 9.4. What does it say over here? It just says Brian Ball and Trent Luther story, Luigi cover and art, and it just says Patreon exclusive. Be sure to hold those Onyx covers of the cameras. I don't think the Onyx covers are in this shipment. The Onyx covers are still currently at CGC, 2 of them, which I believe both of those will hit 9.8. This looks... I mean, these are just phenomenal, dudes. So this is the Patreon exclusive. So you would need to be, I guess, a part of the Patreon in order to get this. If you're not a part of the Patreon, the only place to get this would be to get it off of like eBay or something. No clue what this would even be worth. Not that I'm selling these. These are all going into my personal collection. As a matter of fact, these are all going to go and replace these here. So I'll be taking these down, and then these will be going on display in their place. So 1 of 12, and we started off great with a 9.8. So I'm gonna try to not see the rest of these. They should all be in the same direction. And let me see what's on the cover. Oh man, I hope this one's a 9.8. I hope this one's a 9.8. So this version here, this isn't the Virgin variant. The Virgin variant, I think, is the one that I sent in for pressing because it definitely had a little bit of a spine roll to it. So it would be nice if this one and that one after the pressing become a 9.8. This one, I said, it's not the Virgin, so we'll just send it in. So let's see what... Wait a minute. What cover is this? This is the Virgin. So which one did I have pressed? I'm not sure which one now I don't know which one I had pressed. Come on, zoom in. Oh, really, camera? We're going to do this today? There you go. RAGS number 1, no publisher listed. The Lim Virgin edition. Patreon. We'd like to see a 9.8 here. I can't remember now. Which one did I send in for pressing? Nice! Nice! 9.8 on this one. That is dope, dudes. And the cover is beautiful, man. That is awesome. So we are currently 2 for 2 on the 9.8s. Which one did I send in? Which one did I send in for pressing? I think I may have sent the wrong one in for pressing. Oh man, I'm gonna be bummed if I accidentally sent the wrong one in. Where is my other receipt? I keep them. Oh, here we go. What is this? Is this it? So the one I sent in for pressing is it just says RAGS number 1 Lim variant cover. This one says Lim Virgin edition. What the hell one's the Lim variant cover? I don't know. I thought it was this one. But either way, beautiful. 9.8 on this one. So that is freaking badass. 2 for 2. 2 for 2. We're gonna take a sip out of our RAGS mug here for good luck. Oh man. Oh yeah, baby. Ambien maybe? No. I didn't submit this order on Ambien. That's definitely something I wouldn't be doing. As a matter of fact, I didn't even take any Ambien last night. All right, book number 3 of 12. See if we can get this out of here. This should be where the grade is, right on this side. What is this? Okay. Nope, that's a different. Oh, it's the mini. How did they label it? So this one I am not expecting a 9.8 on. What did they label this as? This was the error printing. Come on. Zoom. Oh my gosh. Focus. What did they list it? It just says uncensored second printing. So this is what CGC labeled it as. Obviously, you could tell that this is much smaller, right? You see how much gap is here? How much is here? They have it suspended in the case by these flaps. There's a flap here at the bottom, and then a flap here and a flap up top. Nope, no flap up top. Oh, this already looks bad. I think I accidentally just saw it. I think this looks bad.
You gotta build some
That's
defense.
what I told you guys. So remember I was saying that I think a couple of them will be 9.2 to 9.6. This one, I 100% anticipated it coming back a low grade. Now we'll have to look on CGC at the graders notes after we go over this and see exactly why it graded a 9.2. But this is one of the ones that I 100% expected to come back between a 9.2 and a 9.6. So this is I know that, you know, Roal was like, yo, that sucks and everything, but this is what I expected with this one. I expected that with this one. It's pretty cool, man. Honestly, I mean, this is pretty nice. Uncensored second print. I ordered a couple of these, or I got a couple of these, and I chose the best one. I want to say that there's only... Is it only 20 of these that were printed? Maybe it wasn't this one. Maybe it was the test one. I'm not sure. Either way, 9.2. How much would this sell for? Honestly, I have no clue. Die. RAGS books, you know, there's not like a huge market for RAGS books, you know, like it's not like your everyday Marvel or DC book that people are like, oh man, I got to go out and grab it. But RAGS does have a really, I guess, a good following, what you can say. I don't know if you were here for the first two, but I'll go ahead and show the first two real quick. Die is one of the people out in the channel that really loves the comic books as well. So this one got a 9.8. How much would this be worth? I have no clue, man. You'd have to probably check eBay real quick as I'm showing these. But this is a RAGS #1. If anybody wants to bring up eBay and check, this is a RAGS #1. This is not Antarctic Press. This is no publisher. It would be a Patreon exclusive. So you would type in RAGS #1, Patreon exclusive, Lim Virgin Edition. If somebody wants to screenshot this real quick or whatever, 9.8. If I had to guess, I don't know. I bet I could list this for 100 and it would maybe sell. I don't know, $70, something like that. Again, my intentions with these books were not to list, to sell, or to come back to sell. These are going to be for me, for my personal collection. There is two, however, of the 20 that were sent in. I sent in doubles. Because I do want to try to sell them to make the money back on the grading. One would be the Onyx cover, and then one would be the Turks variant. And then if somebody wanted to look for, there's one up there for $750. Yeah, probably wouldn't sell for that. You got to go to the sold listings, man. You got to go to the sold listings for that. So this one, if you want to look up this one, this is RAGS #3, Patreon exclusive. This is just the regular Patreon exclusive, but that one hit a 9.8 as well. And again, how much would it be worth? I don't know. I've got no intentions of selling these. Maybe if I die, you know, one of these days, little Miss Boo Bear or Mrs. Mori could sell all of the comics off, because I'm sure that they don't care about them. And then this one, a 9.2, I wouldn't imagine being worth very much at all. But again, I sent this in because these are kind of... I think this was an error printing, and I mainly wanted to see what the CGC was going to label this as. This may be the only one that's graded currently in existence, and it's a 9.2, which I guess a 9.2, if we're talking about an older book, is like a phenomenal grade. A 9.2, when you're talking about a modern book, you know, anything from, let's say, mid-90s and on, pretty much, a 9.2 is not really a good grade. And it sucks to say a 9.2 is a bad grade, because I guess it really isn't. When you look at it, this book presents very well. Like, it's beautiful looking, but there's definitely something wrong with it. And I'll look at the grader's notes to see. They don't give you grader's notes for 9.8, 9.6. Sometimes they don't even give grader notes for 9.4. But on a 9.2, there's definitely going to be grader notes. And more than likely, the note will say something to the effect of like a possible finger bend, or like a spine roll or something like this, which this one doesn't have a spine roll, but I'm assuming that there's a finger bend. You know what? I think I remember showing this one to you guys, and we were talking about it. On the back, you might be able to see it, but on the book itself, there was like these weird glue marks. Remember I was telling you guys that there's like these weird fingerprint glue marks. I guarantee you the grader notes say fingerprints. I bet you it says, you see that right up there? You see that right below the R? I bet you it says fingerprints. Whenever you get a fingerprint on a comic book, that's like almost like an automatic 9.2. But the thing with this is that this was the cover, the feel that I was telling you guys, that it felt almost like velvet, right? Like it doesn't have your normal comic book feel. It has like a velvet feel to it. And I usually have these little microfiber deals here that I use to kind of wipe off fingerprints, you know. I attempted to do that here. They don't come off. They don't do anything. So they're like almost like embedded in this velvet book during the printing process. I have no clue, but that would be why. We'll check the grader's notes, but that will be why that one hit a 9.2. And I was expecting somewhere between a 9.2 and a 9.6. I just didn't know how much they were going to hit it. All right, next book. So we've got 10 more books to go through. I'm going to try to not see the grade. This is RAGS number 2. This is going to be, I guess, what they call a mecha variant cover. RAGS number 2, no publisher listed, mecha variant cover, Patreon exclusive. I'd be surprised if this one was anything lower than a 9.6. That's a dope cover. Check her out. That is cool. Look at that. Got the little Patreon tag on it. This says variant 2, variant-2. Let's see what we get here, man. I'm hoping 9.8, obviously. Ready? 3, 2, 1, boom. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh. So far, all of the books have been 9.8 and 1 9.2. That is dope, man. That is awesome. No clue how many of these are graded. We can check the CGC census to see how many of these are graded. But if you guys want to check on eBay, again, I've got no intentions of selling these, but if you guys are curious as to what these are worth or whatever, somebody could look it up on eBay. RAGS number 2, no publisher. You would put in Patreon exclusive mecha variant cover, 9.8. Pretty dope. I'd imagine probably $70, you know. If I had listed these 9.8s for $70, they'd probably sell extremely quickly, and they probably would even go maybe for 100 or more. But that's pretty dope. Oh, I didn't even show you guys the back side of it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. This will be uploaded to YouTube, correct? A little bit later on this afternoon. So the backs of them, if you guys never seen the back of CGC labels, it has the same information. A little disclaimer or whatever there for legal information. Go to the website, and then it also puts 9.8 white pages, and it does put the CGC census number, I guess is what it would call. The certification number is what that would be. And then there's the back of the book there. So far 3 9.8s, 1 9.2 on one that we expected to be pretty low. 9 more to go, man. RAGS number 2, Patreon mecha variant, and 9.8 is 120 on eBay. Check sold listings. So with that screen that you have up, if you go over to the left side and kind of scroll down a little bit, well, depending on how big your monitor is, I guess, you'll see it says sold listings. Click on sold listings. See if any have actually sold. That's the thing about eBay, is that you can go to eBay and look at a listing and go, oh my God, it's listed for $700, you know, and it'll sit there forever. No one's going to pay $750, I don't think, for something like this. I mean, a RAGS book did just sell, was it last month, maybe 3 weeks ago, for, I want to say, $670 raw. It was signed by Trent, but it was also a prologue. So those are, you know, anywhere between $600 and $1,000, because there's a extremely limited amount of those. It'll be, my goal is to have all of the RAGS books in a collection, all the variants and stuff like that. But I will probably forever be short that one book, just because it's way too expensive for me to own anything like that. All right, I don't know what number this is, so we'll check this one out. Which one is this? This is RAGS number 1, and you guys are gonna have to. I'm gonna have to apologize on the pronouncing of this. I have no idea. Gosh, I don't know how to pronounce it. Gash, Gouache. This one is a bit different of a cover. It is RAGS #1. Somebody help me with the pronunciation on this one. Gosh? Goosh? Come on. There we go. Goosh? Yo, these cameras are the worst, guys, just so you know. I would love to upgrade. There you go. Gogoa. Oh, God, it's so small. I can't even see now. I think it's Gouache. That's everyone's least favorite cover except for Brian. This is Brian's favorite. So this is RAGS #1. Gauche, however you pronounce it. It's oh my God. Faces Gamer Savage, were you here for that? Gouda, Gouda. Do you remember that? Patreon exclusive. My guess is a 9.8 on this one as well. These all arrived really, really nice. So apparently this is everyone's least favorite cover. What does it say? It says one. Oh, I can't even read it. One. It's so small. Can you guys read that? It's probably way bigger on your screen. One badass dame on the prowl for pants, I think is what it says. I'm looking at it through OBS, and OBS is really gouache. 9.8, guys. You ready? Gouache, as in cat. Oh, I have no idea. Boom! 9.8, baby! What's up with that? Everyone's least favorite cover, but it did hit a 9.8. Man, we are on a roll with these 9.8s. Somebody look up this one if you would, please. RAGS #1. Gouda. Cheese variant. Patreon exclusive. Gouache. That is awesome. I'm assuming that this word... That word is the style of cover, is the style of color or art, maybe? I think it's a color or a painting type method, I believe. Gouache. It's a type of paint. Gouache sounds like that might be what that is. Gouache. Somebody look it up on eBay, see if there's any that have sold or if there's any that are listed, but there it is, man. It's a method of painting using opaque pigments. Opaque pigments ground in water and thickened in a glue-like substance. Well, gouache, if that's how you pronounce it, we got a 9.8. So far on the ones that I sent in, hoping and expecting for a 9.8, we've hit a 9.8. One of them 9.2, but that one I was expecting, and we'll look that one up again. What is this? Just a filler. Pronounced gouache. However, we got a 9.8. That's all I care about. What is this one? This one's RAGS #2. This is called the sleep variant. She's not naked on the cover of this. I don't think she's naked on the cover of any of these. I don't think she's naked. No, she's clothed. All right, we're good. So, RAGS #2, no publisher listed, sleep variant cover, Patreon exclusive. There it is. Sleep variant. A little bit of cleavage, a little bit of apparently a stalker in the background. A Zambi stalker. Oh, God, man. I love this book, man. This book is dope, man. Here is your here's the people on it. Ball, Luther. So that would be Brian Ball, Trent Luther, and Luigi. I don't know how to pronounce Terrell. And then Liz Finnegan is who the character, I guess, is modeled after. That's you in the back. That's the faceless stalker there in the background. We're hoping for a 9.8, ladies and germs. Yes! Man, we are on a roll today, man. 9.8. We have gotten some amazing grades. I do not expect any of these to come back 9.9. I have before in the past got a 9.9 back from CGC. Was totally not expecting it. But these, I don't think, again, I look over all the comic books before I send them. And generally, I won't send a book in unless I'm... I don't want to say unless I'm 100% sure it's going to get a 9.8, because obviously I'm not a professional grader, but I've been doing this for a long time and looking over books for a long time now, and I can look at a book and tell you, this will pass, this will get a 9.8, or this is probably a 9.6, 9.2, 9.4, somewhere around in there. Now, when we start getting down to the 9.0s and 7s and 8s around in there, I'm not really too familiar with that stuff. I haven't, I guess, personally graded comic books that would fall in that mid-tier range. Because generally I don't deal with comic books that are old enough to fall in those ranges. But a 9.8 on the sleep variant, there are none of these up. We'll have to check to see how many of them are even in existence, right? Like a lot of these books, there may be less than 10 graded. There may be less than 5 graded. That many, there may only be 1 graded. We might not even be able to find that many. They may put that many in with the regular variants, because you saw that it just said what did it say, second print or something like that. We still got maybe 5 or 6 more to go. This is I don't know what. Oh, Die might like this cover. I don't know, maybe. This is RAGS number 2. This is called the Bounty Hunter variant cover. This says it collects issues 1 through 2 in uncensored format, Patreon exclusive. A RAGS number 2 Patreon Mecha variant 9.4 sold for $30 on eBay, which is crazy. That must have been on bid, because the lowest, unless you're sending in hundreds of books at a time, or maybe not hundreds of books at a time, but maybe 100 books at a time, you're not getting a big enough discount. Like that person probably lost money in the end on that book if it sold for $30. Do you know if it sold for $30 with free shipping or $30 and then shipping on top of that? Because at $30, that person's losing money on that transaction. When something like that happens, you do one. You keep the book in your collection, like this 9.2 will just stay in the collection. You crack it out and then just be like, whatever, that was fun. $4 shipping, so it sold for a total of $34. That person made $0, probably lost money on that entire transaction, because you got to remember, it went shipping to them, right? And then there's that $5 grading fee. So if they split that across 100 books, obviously that's lower. And then there's a shipping back. Of course, all of that gets spread across the books. And then the listing fees. So they lost 10% listing it on eBay, plus 30 cents or whatever charge. But anyways, you said that the sleep variant, variant, I always thought that we called it the Mandalorian cover. This one here, Mandalorian. Yeah, so that's what I sent it as. I sent this as the Mandalorian variant. When you fill out the forms at CGC, there's a drop-down menu for you to pick. And if you don't see your cover in there, you can add it, almost like that CLZ app. You can add it if yours is the first one or whatever. But apparently, CGC refers to this one as the Bounty Hunter variant. We're looking for a 9.8, obviously, on this one. Again, here's the cover. I don't know if you guys like this. I think they're dope. 9.8. We are on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. But a 9.4 to a 9.8 is a big jump, right? You have 9.4, you've got 9.6, and then you've got 9.8. A 9.4 is still a near mint minus, right? A 9.8 is a near mint. So the price difference between a 9.4 and a 9.8 can sometimes be very, very significant. So even though sold 145, no joke, not graded. Wait a minute. One of these raw sold for $145 raw. What's the date on that? But there you go. Here's the back side of it. So this one has actually a different backing than the rest of them. It's got like the Virgin cover. June 17th. Let's see. So Roald is saying that on June 17th, RAGS number 2 self-published Mandalorian Patreon exclusive uncensored 9.8. It actually sold for $145 plus for shipping. Why did they list it as a 9.8? Very low print. I can't see any flaws. Please see the pics. Must pay within 5 days. Somebody actually paid $145 for the raw version of this. For the raw version. And this is a 9.8. So if a raw sold for 145, we'd probably be able to at least get that. This is pretty dope. This might be the best hit so far, man. RAGS comic Mandalorian variant Patreon uncensored raw 120 on June 6th. So one sold June 6th, one sold June 17th, 2 months ago. This may be the only, I don't know, we may have the only graded. I will check, man. I will check here. Let me see. I don't know if I zoomed in enough on the artwork here. Sorry it's so dark in here, but we're having like a really cold day today. You can see there's her tattoos. Pretty cool, man. Couldn't find any. I'm not selling these, Die. I'm not selling these. There's only 2 books in all of this that are with the intention of reselling, and that is the San Diego Comic-Con Onyx edition, which I have 3 of those, one of them ungraded because it came in very bad shape, and then 2 of them look 9/8 to me, so those got sent in. My intention with that is to keep one of the 9/8s and then sell one of the 9/8s to help cover the cost of all of these grade fees, right? A lot of times you can send in like a pack of say 10 or 12, and you could sell 1 book and it would cover the price of everything, right? So that's what I try to do. I try to send in, but these, I only have 1 of these. This won't get sold. This will go in my collection. Like I said, these are all going to get replaced with these here on the wall. So these will go on the wall on display. But, you know, of course, my wife isn't into comics. She's not into all these collectibles. And unless Boo Bear wants this stuff, if something were to happen to me, die, whatever, you know, then I already told him, do whatever you want with the comics. Sell them, keep them, whatever you need. What is this one here real quick? CGC, which one is this one? Sold for 600. 9.8. Okay, so that one that you see there, that is the one that I sent in for pressing. That one right there, that sold for $600 on May 25th. I sent one of those in for pressing and grading. It definitely would have come back like a 9.4, maybe even a 9.2 with the roll it had. Now the only positive thing is that the bend that it had in it was not color breaking, and it wasn't like a severe bend. You know what I mean? It was like a rolled. It looked as if somebody stacked them in there in a long box, and the comic in front of it slid, and it kind of just put that little indent. So a pressing should remove that completely. And if it does, it'll come back a 9.8. So that'll be pretty cool, man. So this stuff printed in 2012, and it's already worth 150. This stuff was printed last year. This stuff was printed last year. 2018. August of 2018. So exactly 1 year ago. 1 year ago. I bet we can't get RAGS here in Europe. I bet you can. I bet if you type in !RAGS, you could become a Patreon. As far as getting these back issues, I don't think that is possible. I don't think it is possible to get back issues unless you are a prior military. If you hold a DD Form 214, if you're a first responder, I believe a police officer or a fireman, or prior any of those, I do believe if you become a Patreon, and I do believe it's at any level. So if you join the Patreon at the $5 level, as long as you provide that information, those guys will send you a DD Form 214 packet. So definitely worth checking out. I've been trying to, tell you guys about it now for a while. Type in !RAGS, and then check them out, man. And in number 5, I don't know if you guys saw my tweet yesterday, but in number 5, there is a Mad Mori cameo in issue number 5. What's up, Snacker Bader? You've missed a handful of these books so far, sir. A big stack of these books. If you've got some time, let me get through the rest of them. I think there's only 4 left. Let me get through the rest of them, and then I'll show each one of them again right at the end. Ninja Robert, what's up, dudes? What's going on, man? Onyx one, uncensored, is nice. 2 of those coming back. 2 of those coming back, man. But none are here. None are here yet. None are here yet. Those maybe another 2 or 3 weeks out. The entire turnaround, I was telling everybody in the beginning of this video that the entire turnaround of these was 30 business days. From my house, me shipping them, to them arriving at my door, 30 business days for 12 books, which is extremely fast, faster than any other book that I've had before. What is this one? This is Rags number 4. This is another one. This is another mini. This is the Sailor Rogowski, the Sailor Moon variant cover. I love this cover. I think this is one of probably my favorite covers aside from the number 2. This one is another one that I'm expecting a 9.2 to a 9.6. I don't believe this will be a 9.8. I don't believe it'll be a 9.6. More than likely, it's going to be a 9.2 or even a 9.4. But these were ones that I was expecting to come back. I have got a 9.9 previous. None of these will be 9.9 though, for sure. I love this cover, man. I love the color. I love the freaking art. I love the zombies. This one is just amazing. Again, this is one of the minis. This is one of the little ash can mini air prints or whatever. Let's see, how did they label it? They just labeled it Sailor Rogowski variant cover. So they didn't even label it as a mini. Obviously, you can see Rags number 4. This is from 2019. Again, I'm expecting a 9.2, 4, or 6. What the frick? So maybe I wasn't expecting a 9.2. I didn't think that these minis would come back like this. So I did have, I think 3 of these. Maybe this one didn't have any of the glue marks on the back. Yeah, I mean, you can see that there's no fingerprints, no glue marks on the back of this one. So I have a couple of these. Obviously, I have a couple of these. So I guess maybe I just picked the right one, man. That is awesome. 9.8 on a mini, man. So when these were ordered, these were ordered and they arrived like this. Obviously not intended to be a mini comic book like this. So what Brian did, what the Rags team did, is they reordered these things in regular sizes. And then as a way of saying, sorry, we screwed up, Brian Ball actually signed every single one of them and sent it out to the patrons. So we all got signed copies of the normal full size of these, which I was going to send into CGC for grading. But both of mine showed up not dog-eared, but with like creases. Not bad. I mean, they still present well, but they would have dinged it real hard for that. So I figured, I'll just send in some different ones, and I knew I had sent in a mini. Can't believe we got that one. Here's the back of it. You guys already saw the back of it. This is actually still available, by the way. This book is still available, I believe, on is it Indie Planet? The alleged bot killer would know. Elizibar, these are still available somewhere for purchase, I believe. These are limited, I think, now, or something like that. I don't know. Well, I'll have to get you guys the information or whatever like that. But again, type in !Rags. Check out Rags Zombie on Patreon. Become a Patreon. Get you some awesome comic books. At $1, you guys get the... you get all 5 of the current issues in digital form. And again, I am in number 5, which is awesome. Or I tweeted it out so you guys can see. I'm actually in there 3 times. See, we're just going Rags all the way around today, man. Only thing I'm not doing is wearing my Rags t-shirt. You guys can see I'm starting to sweat. This computer room gets extremely hot. It is the hottest room in the house because of everything, running for the stream and everything. So I got this little AC set up here, but I don't want to turn it on because I got to turn it on. I'm dying. Let's just run it here for a minute. Oh man, this room gets insanely hot. Even in the wintertime. I have the heater blocked. The vent is blocked in this room, so it can't get through, because in the wintertime, we run the heater nonstop here in Washington State because it gets, relatively cold here. And I have to block it because if not, this room will just this room will cook. The AC noise doesn't bother you. Some people say they don't even notice it, man, until I point it out. But I've gone back and looked at the the previous videos or listened to it, and I can hear it. So while we're waiting for this to kind of cool the room down, it's not going to take very long. I'll go back and I'll show the ones, and then there's only 2 more in here. So let me go back through these real quick, just in case anybody missed it. We have a RAGS number 4, the Sailor Rogowski variant cover. This is one of the minis, one of the ash cans, one of the error prints. Hit a 9.8. That's awesome. We had the, I guess what everybody calls the Mandalorian variant, but CGC refers to it as the Bounty Hunter variant cover. It collects issues 1 through 2 in an uncensored format. This is a Patreon exclusive. That got 9.8 as well. I'm about to tip this box over. That got a 9.8 as well. That's your favorite one? That's your favorite one, Faces Gamer? A couple of people, I guess, were looking at prices of these on eBay. Prices seem like they're kind of all over the board. Who knows what this stuff is worth? I don't really care. I just wanted it for my collection. RAGS number 2. This one is called the Sleep variant cover. Got a 9.8 on that one. So far, everything has hit 9.8. Everything except for one, which I expected to come back somewhere between a 9.2 and a 9.6. It happened to hit a 9.2, and I'm sure it's because of that fingerprint that will not come off, but I'll check the notes. This one, I guess, is the least favorite cover of everybody. I don't mind it. Gouache, the Gouache variant cover. Patreon exclusive 9.8. I don't mind it. I like that it's different. I think it's pretty cool. That got a 9.8. Like I said, if these were getting sold, I'd imagine that I could probably list any one of these except for the 9.8 for probably 75 bucks. It probably would sell relatively quickly. All of these would. RAGS number 2. This is called the Mecha variant cover.
You gotta build some defense.
Yo, Guy Nort, thank you very much for subbing up tier 1 style, man. Appreciate you. 9.8 on the Mecha variant. Another Patreon exclusive. Again, I'm not going to be selling any of these. I will, however, be selling one of the Onyx covers. So before listing it on eBay or anything like that, I will probably ask you guys out here if any of you guys want it. This is the one that I was expecting to come back low, and it did. 9.2. It's the second printing of the series, and it printed Air Mini Ashcan, and again they just labeled it as an uncensored second printing, so which is going to be interesting because there is full-size versions of this now, which you can get on Indie Planet. So if any of the patrons out there, if any of the RAGS homies have that link to Indie Planet, please link it. I could actually find it and give it to you guys here in a little bit. But you can actually get the full size, the appropriate, what I guess was supposed to be issued. You can still get these, and I want to say it's like $6, $5.50 if you just want to read the comic, like just have it and read it. I sent a Turks variant to the Faces Gamer. He says he likes it so far. This one is just the regular Patreon cover for number 3, which is cool because you won't be able to see it, but this collage was sent to me from them, and this is in the center of the collage right there, and then the rest is RAGS. Each one of these are unique, like 101s. They're made by I believe it's HP Collages. So make sure you guys check her out. She has a Etsy store where she does that. So that's pretty cool. So a 9.8 on this one, and then the other one that showed up is this one, which this may be the most expensive one so far. I'm not really sure. RAGS number 1, Patreon exclusive Limb Virgin Edition. Hit a 9.8. There you go. So this is a beautiful one here, man. I can't wait to display this one on the wall. That one will probably go like right there. Next time I stream, you guys will probably see these on display over here, man. That's a beautiful cover, beautiful grade. What does that remind you guys of? Anybody? Anybody got any guesses? What does this cover remind you of? See if anybody can guess it, man. See if any of the homies out there can guess what that is. Maybe an Easter egg to, or maybe a reference to. Boo Bear. No, man, look at the cover. The entire cover, not just her. Snaggerbaiter probably knows. The entire thing, man. What do they call them? Homage covers? Homage? Homage? I always say homage. I asked Mrs. Mori, is it homage or homage? She says, I guess it could be either. She says, I would just say homage. I've heard lots of people say homage, and then I've heard a lot of people just kind of say something. All right, there's a couple of more. There's just 2 more in here. You mind if I leave it on? You guys good? You guys good with me just leaving it on? I think there's either 2 or 3 more in here. Oh crap, some fell forward. There's actually more. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 more in here. Call of Duty, there you go, man. Mike V, big winner, man. You win absolutely nothing, sir. You win absolutely nothing other than just being really, really cool. This is RAGS number 4. I have no idea what cover this is. Oh, this might be the Turks cover. Nope. What cover is this? This is just the regular number 4 Patreon exclusive. This one's actually printed on an Antarctic Press one as well. The Antarctic Press one will, of course, here have Antarctic Press's logo. I think the RAGS logo might be over here somewhere, but it's different. But of course, the ones that you get from Antarctic Press are going to be censored on the inside, meaning that through books, the prologue 1, 2, 3, and 4, which this one is, she's pretty much naked or topless throughout probably 90% of the book, 80% of the book. So when they're printed through Antarctic Press, they're printed with little bunnies, these little bunnies, little itty bitty bunnies covering all of her lady bits. Let's see what we get here, man. Obviously, we're hoping for a 9-8. We want to continue the 9-8 streak. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes. Man, we're having a killer day with grades, man. We are having a killer day. This is awesome. That's beautiful. 9.4. This one just came out this year, 2019. Oh, man. So far, everything has been 9.8 except for the 9.2 that we was expecting to come back. That Sailor Rogowski was definitely a surprise. That was a surprise to me. Now I'm like, yo, we're this far in. I hope the rest of them are all 9.8s. And I don't know what's left, man. There's, been 12 books in here. I have no idea. Why does this one feel thin? This case is definitely smaller than the rest. What is this? This is going to be the packing slip. Why does this one feel small? Elizabar, are you out there? This says exposed virgin variant. Exposed virgin variant. There's no nudity on any of these other than the Onyx, correct? Exposed. Oh, I know what this one is. There's no nudity on this one. But you do see, it sounds explicit. You do see her butt, but her butt is covered. It's like hanging out the bottom of, let's say, some pajamas. Look at that. That cover is beautiful. Man, I really hope we get a 9.8 on this one. This is generally how she becomes naked in the comic books. The zombies, they always seem to grab her clothing and rip her clothing off. This is a beautiful cover, man. RAGS number 3. Come on, zoom in, baby. I hope we get a 9.8 on this one. Gosh, I want a 9.8. Come on, camera. There you go. RAGS number 3, no publisher listed. Exposed Virgin variant cover. Patreon exclusive. I love that cover. Come on, guys. 9.8, man. 9.8, 9.8, 9.8, 9.8. Yes! This is a beautiful cover. Oh. I don't know. Somebody look it up. Somebody look it up on eBay, man. Somebody look it up on eBay. See if any of these have sold. I just want to get an idea of what we're looking at here, man. It's called the Exposed Virgin Variant Patreon exclusive. 9.8. One sold for 300? You're out of your mind. Oh my God, it did! On May 25th, RAGS issue number 3 Exposed Virgin Variant CGC 9.8 sold for $300 from some company called DTF Comics. DTF Comics. Holy smokes, dudes. This is probably the most expensive out of the bunch then. I'll see, like I said, after all of this, I'll see how many of these are in the census. It may be pretty low, you know. You know that seller? You know DTF? Well, apparently he sold one of these. He or she sold one of these. 9.8 for $300. $299 even, and $14.35 for shipping. That's crazy. You guys want to know how much? Well, here, I'll let you know how much all of this was afterwards, because if I look at this, then I'll see all the grades. But I'll tell you guys how much. There's still a couple of more in here. There's another one that fell forward. Yo, how many is in here? I mean, there should be 12. I feel like we've gone through 12 already. Let's pull out the next one. I don't know why that slab feels thinner. This is a, oh, this is a Finnegan. This is probably my least favorite cover. Somebody was saying the gouache or gouache, however you pronounce it, was least favorite. This is for sure my least favorite cover. Still wanted to send it in because I only have one of these, and I'd like to kind of maybe get all of these graded. But this is my least favorite cover. You guys let me know what you think. This is my least favorite. I don't know. There's just something about it that I don't know. I just don't enjoy. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way that she's drawn. This one is one of your favorites. It's not bad. It's different though. Yeah, I don't know. This box is gonna tip. Not one of my favorites, man. RAGS number 4. This is called the Finnegan variant cover, Patreon exclusive. You're not a fan of the face? Yeah, I don't know, man. The zombies and everything look great. The zombies look great. I love that. Especially this dude over here. This dude over here. I mean, that's a great looking zombie. But I don't know, just there's something about her that bugs me. Either way, we're really hoping to get a 9.8. I doubt there's any of these on eBay. You may find these raw copies for like 30 bucks, maybe 40 bucks, something like that. I doubt you'll find any 9.8s. I mean, these literally just came out, man. These just came out. They probably dropped last month, maybe. And the day that it arrived is the day that I shipped out the CGC package. So this arrived, I added it to the list, and away it went. So 9.8 is what we're looking for. Oh, dudes, we are on a roll, man. We are on an absolute tear today with these grades. 9.8, beautiful grade. Not really a fan of the cover, but glad to have it a part of the collection, man. This may be the only one currently graded. Like I said, the day that it arrived, I was like, whoa, snap! Sent it. So it arrived, what, 30 business days ago? Somewhere right around in there. That is awesome. 3 more, I think. 2 more, I think. It's very Freddy Krueger. Here's the Turks edition. Okay, This one I'm expecting not a 9.8. I'm expecting this to be not a 9.8 to the point where I sent in another Turks variant on another order, because that one looked much, much better. This one was the best of the ones that were sent to me, but I am expecting this to be a 9.6 at least, or at maximum of 9.6. It could even be a 9.2 depending on how bad they ding the problem with this book. But this is one of the books that I expect to be a lower copy or a lower grade, and this was sent in with the intention of getting a better feel for how badly do they ding covers for certain things. But it's a Turks Virgin Edition, Patreon exclusive, RAGS number 4, no publisher listed. The problem with this book, you won't be able to see it with the glare, is over here. Right here by the rear wheel, there is almost a finger bend. But that was the only thing wrong with this. There's no spine creases or anything like that. All the corners are beautiful except right over here. I expect, but I just wanted to know how bad they're going to ding us. You guys ready? I'm guessing 9.2 or 9.4. I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. It's going to be extremely difficult. You can, okay, I'll point to where it's at, and then you see if you can decipher it. It's right here. It's right here where my finger is. I'll adjust the light to where you can see it, okay? I'm currently covering it. It looks like a weird little bend. Let me see. You can kind of see a shadow. Do you see that little shadow right there where the glare is? Do you see it? Right here? Do you see that little dent? Snaggerbaiter sees it. Snaggerbaiter sees it. If you've looked over comics before, you could see it right there. It's hard to show it, man, with this camera and all this glare. I think I'm making it worse. It's picking up too much glare. What if we went upside down? No, that's even worse. Look right there where the glare is at right now. The glare is covering it. I'll take the glare off. You see it? It's under the glare, and it's right there. You see that little indent? Now you see it. You see it? You see that little indent right there. So I expected... Crack it out? Yeah, I'll do that. So again... I have sent in books, right? And this is, I mean, just kind of well known. There have been books that I sent in that did have not necessarily the sharpest corners you have ever seen, but CGC does allow for defects on books. Some of those being like little bindery marks or even frays. I've had books that have had along the seam here have had almost like little frays, right? This one doesn't have any, but I have books that have come back 9.8 that have like a little fray here, sharp corners, but little itty bitty frays, and then even have like little, not scuff marks, it's hard to explain, but like frays along the spine, right on the spine. Now those are allowable in a 9.8 because you got to remember there's still a 10.0 and there's still a 9.9 and then you have a 9.8, right? So people who send for CGC or collect CGC obviously want to get 9.8 because that's kind of maybe like the collector standard of the highest grade you can get, right? Because there are 9.9s out there. Generally, you're going to overpay for that stuff. 10s is just going to be extremely rare, and you're going to way overpay for that. So a 9.8 is essentially what people look for, right? That's why whenever we do this, I say, let's hope it's a 9.8, right? When I sent this in, I notice it because I've done so many books before, and I've sent in so many books, so I notice all of this stuff. And that was one of the first things that I saw, and it's the only thing wrong with the book. If that wasn't there, I mean, everything else is perfect. Oh, crap. I'm going to break the case. But you could definitely see it right there, and it's very minimal, right? Like, it doesn't break color. It doesn't, there's no crease, there's no nothing like that, but you could just kind of see a little itty-bitty indent. But I guess it's light enough for it to be allowable in a 9.8. So, I mean, this is actually good news because, not because it's a 9.8, but because, all right, Snackerbaiter, but because now I know that some of the other books that I have sent in that maybe I wasn't too sure about, maybe would get a 9.8. And I'm sorry about the lighting, dudes. Sorry about the lighting. It's kind of dark here today, but this is beautiful. So I sent in another copy because I thought this one was going to come back lower than a 9.8. This did hit a 9.8. If that other book comes back a 9.8, I'll definitely be selling one of those. I can't expect this to sell for very much, even as a 9.8, because I'd imagine you could probably get this for, I don't know, 20 bucks raw or some shit like that. These are limited, however, to 250. So there, will only be 250 of these. I believe it's 250, maybe 500. I think it's 250. Yeah, so if the other one comes back at 9.8, this was one that I sent in with the intentions of reselling. And even if, I sell it and make 20 or 30 bucks off of it, it'll still help pay. The one that I'm hoping to make the most off of will be the Onyx cover. If I could sell that for $100, 50, something like that. That's it. That was the last one. That's it. The fun is over. No more books. That's it. No more books. The fun's over. There's all 12. There's